everybody. I want to talk about how to tell somebody's intentions. Whether they have good intentions, bad intentions, sexual intentions, non-sexual intentions. Because it's not always as straightforward as you think. And vice versa. Where a lot of people screw up is trying to think of, how can I get this guy? How can I get this girl? What do I need to do to get this person? And that's a fucked up thing. Like, it's not a process. You don't get them. They're not as an object to be retrieved. So how to tell somebody's intentions. I love an analogy I came up with, I guess about 5 years ago. And that's this. Like, you as a person, imagine you are a gas station clerk. And you as a person are the actual clerk. And your I guess the term now is sexual market value. But your sex appeal, your sex, is the gas pumps, right? When people are dating, sex is a big part of it, right? Especially if you're a woman. If you're a girl, then from the time you were well below the age of 14, you've noticed that guys get weird. Guys come around, they get weird, they start acting weird, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I think the gas station analogy certainly applies more to women than it does to men, but it can still apply to men. Most especially if you have a high, quote-unquote, sexual market value. But the gas station, right? The gas pumps are like your sex appeal, and then you are like the clerk, okay? Why do people come to a gas station? To get gas. That's why you go, right? Now, sometimes if it's like your favorite gas station, or if there's something else you need, you go into the store, right? Makes sense. You're filling all your needs. You get the gas, you go into the store, you get your sunflower seeds or cigarettes, fuck ever. But now imagine this. You're the clerk, okay? It's no mystery why motorists pull their cars up into the parking lot and come to the gas station. You know why they're there the second they show up, right? If you're a chick and you've dolled up and you're dressed up and you're feeling cute and pretty, and you go out with your girlfriends and you go to a bar with just you and the girls, and all of you are sitting around the table laughing and joking, and that first dude approaches and tries to sit at the table or buy you a drink, you all know what brought him to the table, right? It's not rocket science. Now, imagine if you're a gas station clerk and somebody comes in, they pull the car in, they don't go to the they don't go to the pump, they come into the store, and they don't even really buy anything. And they're just like standing there talking to you like, hey, so whenever you're not being a clerk, like, what are you into? Like, and you're just, so you have this conversation with this person, and they can be a great person, you can be having a wonderful conversation with them, but you're just left sitting there wondering, like, why in the hell? What are you doing here? You spend half your time trying to figure out, why are you here? Why are you having this conversation with me? I mean, it's a good conversation, don't get me wrong, but where is this going? Because you haven't got gas, you haven't got your sunflower seeds, you haven't got your cigs, you haven't got any, like, why are you here? Okay? And so when you're talking to them and they're like, oh, I mean, I see this is a great gas station and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like gas and all that, but like, I don't really need gas, plus, I like you for you. I'm not really just here for the gas. I actually just like to come up here and chat with you and have a conversation, and that could very well be true, but it's also kind of weird. It's like, I really just love the color of the tiles here. Did you pick the color of the tiles yourself? Oh, and I love the way that the gas pumps, the colors on the pumps, match the sign by the street. That's some smart branding. It takes a lot of intelligence to be able to coordinate the colors and do your branding just right. And, you know, all of that. And you're like, so what the fuck? Are you going to buy gas or not? And they'll be like, well, you know, I mean, I'm a fan of gas. I like gas. I mean, if you want to sell me some gas, that's cool. I mean, I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big gas supporter, and I support your right as a clerk to sell gas. But I mean, if you decide that selling gas like isn't the right thing for us, I mean, I fully respect that decision. You know, blah 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 blah. And they just sit there and they just like it's just fucking weird, right? So all of this to say, whenever you sit there and you think, what do I need to do to get this guy? What do I need to do to get this girl? Like, that's how you look. You look like that person that's come into the gas station who's talking about the most ridiculous random shit that makes zero sense in the context of why you're there. You're obvious, very obvious to this person. They know it. You kind of know it, but you're trying to sit here and work it out in your head. And, you know, that's how you end up sandbagging yourself. Right? So, what does that mean? It means take a deep breath, chill, and relax. I said this in another video. If somebody's talking to you, that means they like you. Because, and I mean like actively talking to you, not just answering your questions and stringing you along because they feel sorry for you. Nothing like that. You know, if somebody's actually talking to you and enjoying the conversation, you're good. You're in a position to get the gas. End of story. Like, it's not rocket surgery. So yeah, chill and relax a little bit. I think, and this has just been my experience. For women, there tends to be something just refreshing about a guy who comes to the gas station, knows what kind of gas he wants, knows, you know, the price is right for the gas. Cause that might be a little of not quite what I meant, bad phrasing, but you know, a man who comes in, he's there for the gas, he knows how to get the gas, pump the gas, you know he's there for the gas, you're fine with it, he's a good customer, whatever, right? There's something refreshing about a guy who just knows what he wants, and goes for it and is honest about it and doesn't try to make any illusions and doesn't sit there and try to talk too fucking much about stuff that doesn't matter, like the color of the tiles and, you know, what an awesome clerk you are and how impressive it is that you can work a cash register and all that weird stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you're a clerk and you get those kinds of customers, you know, I used to work retail. Those kinds of people are just freaking weird, where they come up to the cash register and they try to be your friend. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? Go through the line. I know why you're here. Stop doing shit you're not supposed to do. And let's get a move on, right? So, there you have it. That's how you know somebody's intent. Don't be that guy or girl that comes into the store and tries to make it about something that it isn't. Don't be that person. And at the same time, know how to recognize that person, okay? And this is the last point I'm going to make. How do you know if somebody's being manipulative and having bad intentions? And it's like this. It's real simple. Unicorns don't exist. They don't fucking exist. Period. Okay? You'll find yourself talking to somebody and be like, man, I met the best girl. I met the best guy. He's a great guy. Everything about this guy is so great and so wonderful. This girl is awesome, dude. She's hot. You know, she's smart. You know, she's the real deal. You know, we talk for hours. I mean, great, wonderful person, right? Watch out. Okay? Why? Because you're dealing with somebody who is a skilled gas getter, and frankly, you're just the next station, right? The other part of this too is, I mean, there's a good expression that I love. Unicorns don't exist. Unicorns do not exist. They don't exist. If you happen to find a unicorn, understand that the unicorn does not belong to you. You're just the next person in line to ride it. Okay? So, what does that mean? Are you saying, so you're saying that good people don't exist, and whenever I actually meet somebody that I like and somebody who's a good person, that it's all just fake and it's all just an act and I can never find happiness? No, idiot, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, whenever it's over the top and you find yourself saying, I met the best guy and the best girl, take a step back and breathe and evaluate what it is you've got on your hands. Because I can promise you, your best friend, chances are the day you met your best friend was not a unicorn moment like that at all. Your best friend was probably somebody who you slowly came into contact with, and just the friendship just gradually built and built and built over time. You know, people do not just meet somebody day one and be like, think like Step Brothers, like, oh my God, did we just become best friends? I think so, right? That doesn't happen, okay? Like, that is not how, strong, enduring friendships are formed by the numbers. It's not impossible. There's always going to be somebody that says, oh, well, I know, but just think about it a second, okay? You go on a date, and you just meet a pretty decent guy, a pretty decent girl. You know, they're really nice, they're really sweet, they have manners, they're respectful, right? They seem knowledgeable, they talk a lot, but you know, they have their flaws and they're not afraid to admit their flaws, right? And that's really what you want to look for. Somebody who's not afraid to wear their flaws out in the open, all right? You know, because then it's just like, okay, I mean, we all have our problems, we all know our shit, right? So when you find somebody that's like, oh, you know, hey, it's cool that you like me, but you should know that I eat tofu, and you're like, ooh, thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, right? If you're not a tofu eater, you know. I mean, where did I even come up with tofu? I don't know, but I've been recording too long, and I'm not gonna abandon this video because I'm near the house now. So you're stuck with it. Look for somebody that, you know, wears their flaws out in the open readily and easily. Look for somebody who can screw up and apologize effectively, and they say, hey, you know what, like, it wasn't my intention to cause a problem, like, whenever I did it. Hindsight's 20/20. If I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't, and I'm sorry. Somebody that actually knows how to freaking apologize, like, legitimately, and mean it. Those are the best kind, man. Because nobody's perfect. And if nobody's perfect, that means everybody makes mistakes. And if everybody makes mistakes, that means sooner or later, somebody is going to piss you off, or you're going to piss somebody off. And that means you better be around people that know what to do when that happens, and be able to make peace. Because life isn't about Facebook. You don't get to just unfriend human beings all the damn time. You know, life is more complex than that. You got to be more forgiving. And you got to be able to identify people that can operate in the actual human space, right? So yeah, to wrap it up, man, don't be that guy, don't be that girl that shows up to the station and does everything except buy gas or buy anything, and just wants to befriend the cashier and compliments the cashier on a bunch of weird, ridiculous shit. Don't be that person. And don't be the person that falls for the unicorn act. You know, the Disney man or the Disney princess, you know. Don't fall for the unicorn. If anything, when life hands you a unicorn, ride it a few times and then set it free, right? You're free, go be free. So, thank you very much for listening, watching and listening, viewing. I'll see you on the next video.